Jamie Combs from DC Integrated Health. I want to talk to you about a topic that's really close to my heart and I really think is important for all of us. That topic's food. Okay? So, do we know what we are eating? Do we know what we're putting in our mouths? Well, most of us would say generally that we have a healthy diet. You know, we follow the food pyramid and get 3 square meals. But what's actually in our food? Well, this book here is a very interesting read. Okay, The Chemical Maze by Bill Statement. Now, this book may be small, but it's quite thick. And this lists all the additives that we put in our food. Why do we put additives in, you may ask? Well, one of the main reasons is to make them last longer. Okay, make them taste better. To make them a different colour, a more attractive colour than maybe they would have been naturally. But what effects does this have on us? Bearing in mind that we haven't changed really in 10,000 years, physically, and certainly our digestive system hasn't changed really, but our food has massively changed, and we're eating thousands of chemicals. On average, it's about 200 a day, 200 additives, 200 preservatives. Okay? What effect does that have on us? Well, what can we say? People are getting sick? Yes. People are getting fatter? Yes. I can't prove that it's this, but it's a mighty big coincidence if this does not have an influence. My next question is food choice always better? Okay? Well, when I say food choice, I mean by that having whatever food we need or we want or we desire available for us in the supermarket at any point in time. Okay? Instead of eating what would be available around in the fields from the local farmers in different seasons. Well, choice is nice. We can eat a variety of things. But these things need to be shipped because they don't grow here. Or they're not cheapest here. So the supermarkets, they buy from the cheapest source. But we don't know what and how they've been modified. You know? Have they been genetically modified, which I'll come on to talk about a little bit later. What have they sprayed on it? Why do they look so beautiful, round and juicy? When just a few years, a decade ago, they would have been all different shapes and sizes. And that's just natural stuff. That's just fruit, vegetables and meat. What about boxed, cans, tins of food? All this stuff. It lasts forever. So what does that tell you about food? Is it good for us? Is it alive? I personally think that it takes life to give life. So you need live food, and that live food needs to go into us in order to make us alive. This stuff has been shipped, we don't know what's been sprayed on it, we don't know what's been added to it, we don't know how long it's been on the shelf, in the ship, in the plane. How good is it for us? Okay, as against choosing what's available in farms close to us, real food. In my opinion, choose local food. Choose local organic food. Okay, so what influences your food choice? Okay, so we've got a big choice. So, is it the supermarket that's influencing your food choice? So they're putting out more food available for you, so you just go in and get it. You get the taste for it, you want more of it. They go buy some more, they find the cheaper source. What happens to the local farmer? What influences your food choice? Is it the media? Is it your friends? Is it a cooking program? Is it a cookbook? Just want to think about it. Bear in mind what I think. Life gives life. Live food needs to come from a live source. Bringing on to the importance of soil. Everything we eat is grown in the soil. We are only as good as the soil our food is grown in. I'll explain why that is by this little diagram here. This is called the wheel of life. a closed organic cycle. We have the soil. The plants take the nutrients from the soil. Okay, I can go into huge depth, but I won't right now. But the soil needs to have things like earthworms, microorganisms in order that it has the nutrients and has the water in order to feed the plants. And those plants then feed the animals and feed us, and we eat the animals. And then eventually the animals and humans, we come back to the soil. And that goes back to the plants. It's a closed organic cycle. Now, where does box, can, and stuff that is modified, where does that come and how does it affect this cycle? Does it complement it or doesn't it? There's a question. There's lots of information out there. Have a read, have a look at the Monsanto video, which is on YouTube. Just do a search on there, the world according to Monsanto. Okay, so where does our food come from? Well, you may think it's obvious. I'm just going to go and get a list of the 13 big players, big food companies, okay? So we think generally our food comes from the soil, and we know where it's coming from. Even if we take a really healthy diet, okay? We have 3 square meals a day, we eat organic this, organic that. The biggest player in the world, the biggest food provider is someone called Nestle. They own anything that's boxed, anything that's canned. Baby milk is a big thing that they do. Now, have a look on the internet, do a search. Have a look at how they treat their employees. Have a look at how they treat people around the world. Have a look at the Chinese milk scandal. That was a Nestle company. They put melamine in the milk and it killed babies. Okay? Have a look at what they're doing with baby milk in developed countries. They're trying to sell baby milk as a replacement for breast milk and sell it to people in the developed world. When they get breast milk, they can't afford the formula milk. What do you think of it? I don't think it's any good. Okay, the second player is Kraft Foods in the USA. Another big player, they own lots of consumer brands, mainly in the USA. Unilever is an Anglo-Dutch company, and they own a lot of consumer brands in this country to do with food and to do with beverages, so drinks. And then we come on to the big players, the people who really control food, in my opinion, DuPont and Monsanto. Now, Monsanto is a company with a 100-year record. They started out producing chemicals. To give you an idea of the company, they actually came up with Agent Orange, which they dropped in Vietnam. And then they took that idea, after they killed a lot of people, including the US troops. They took this idea and they said, well, we can use this as a pesticide. Okay, because it kill people there, so we can kill pests in the soil. And from there, they come up with an idea that genetically modifying the food would also be a good idea, because the pesticide also kills the plants. So if you develop a seed that's genetically modified to resist the pesticide, you can spray it all over it, increase your crop yield, more money. But they patent the seeds. And they buy all seed companies. Now, there's lots of issues going on here. This is unregulated, and it's totally unethical. Okay, and you must watch The World According to Monsanto, which is on YouTube at the moment. It's quite long, it's 10 clips of 10 minutes, but it's worth looking at. Okay, that's a really brief overview. It's a huge, huge subject, and there's a lot more I could say about it, because I'm really passionate about this subject. But my take-home message here, what can we do ourselves? Support UK organic farmers and support the Soil Association. Thanks for listening. I hope you got something from this YouTube clip. I'm Daniel Clements from DC Integrated Health.